I am here with Joseph and Joella, which I meant to call maybe Joe,
Yes, correct. Yeah.
for simplicity. I've seen you around for quite some time already, especially after Luna Crash, and because I was engaged in Juno community, and now I started to see you engaged more. Um, so before we get maybe to the coin hall and what you are doing, if you both can introduce yourself a little bit, maybe let's start with the Joe, because she's a lady.
Oh, sorry, we both are called Joe, so so that's
Yeah,
Joseph. Yeah. So
I will be using
I'm
Joseph for Joseph, and Joe or
okay.
Joella for you.
So
Hmm.
I'm Joe. I go by the name SpikerX, and I manage growth at Coinhall. So I recently joined the team about 3 to 4 months back, and we were primarily based on Terra, but now we moved on to Juno and as well as expanding across the IPC. I'm also currently a penultimate year student in university.
Hmm.
So I'm just doing this on part time, and I think I've just been in crypto for about 1 whole year, and yeah, that's my journey thus far. And yes,
Hmm.
you've been seeing me around Juno community quite a bit more often. Yeah, because I mean we're on Juno now, so we have to be more engaged.
And you are now traveling, isn't it?
Yes,
You're
yes,
you're not in Singapore.
I
Where
am
are you?
in Europe now,
Hmm.
so in Serbia, and I actually was supposed to go Portugal in September, but I thought to myself, like, why not just head earlier to Europe? And because I wanted to go Serbia, and
Hmm.
yeah, so I've been here about 11 days, and it's been good so far. It's a really refreshing change of environments because in Singapore everything's so fast paced and convenient, and over here it's more like, I guess you can say, slower. Yeah.
Hmm. A lot of
Actually, where are you
skyscrapers.
based? What?
Right now I'm in Poland.
Poland. Okay.
And since the COVID started, I was based here. Previously to COVID, I was 3 years in Hong Kong, and I'm flying to Hong Kong next week. So, what is your plan? Are you staying only in Serbia, or traveling around Balkans, or also going through all Europe? Maybe are you going
Uh,
towards Poland, or not?
Poland wasn't in my itinerary, so it's mainly just Serbia. And the next 2 weeks, I'm homeless. Like I haven't planned anything yet. So I was actually thinking of going to Italy. Not so sure yet, but on
Hmm.
7th of September, I'll be heading over to Lisbon because there are a few crypto events there, and I think just meet some people. And then after
Hmm.
that, it's just like the typical Barcelona or Paris. And yeah, I'll come back to Singapore in September, at the end of September, for the Token
Hmm.
2049 event. I'm not sure if you heard of that. It's like a huge crypto event where there are a lot
Haven't.
of speakers
Uh,
invited. Oh, you
haven't.
should.
So
Yeah.
you will have to tell me that. So you're going south of the Europe, essentially from the east to the west. Like
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
cool. Joseph, can you introduce
Hey,
yourself?
yeah, of course. Hi everyone. Joseph here. So, started my crypto career first in VC. So we were investing in a bunch of stuff like fintech, AI, transfer blockchain. Um, Subsequently, was running blockchain accelerators for about 3 4 years, and then yeah, joined my co-founder Aaron to run Coinhall full time. Yeah, so we've been live since August, cruising through the IBC ecosystem, and yeah, we just went live on Osmosis yesterday, and Juno was, I believe,
Mhm.
a couple of weeks ago. So yeah,
What were you doing before Coinhall? You-
so I was running blockchain accelerators. So we work with like layer ones. We run
Mhm.
programs to help like blockchain startups, help them refine their, let's say, business models, get them introduced to investors, and yeah, help them scale basically.
Mhm. Mhm. And you started Coinhall with Luna, right? It was the first uh, chain
Yep.
that you started on. Can you tell me why it was the first chain? Uh,
Honestly, I think a lot of the dev uh, mindshare and community was like in EVM. So
Mm-hmm.
in other ecosystems, actually, there's a lot of like lacking tools. So when we did Coinhall and we did our first basic product, which was just live charts, yeah, we were the first in Terra. So I think from there we just were early movers. We created it out of basic need. Friends were We introduced this to friends. A bunch of friends were using, and we were like, okay, why
Mm-hmm.
not just put it up on Twitter, see who wants to use, and then yeah, it just kind of went like word of mouth from there. So people who were kind of influential within the space picked it up, started using the platform. It was free, so yeah, and then we slowly developed from there. So natural progression, and as a team, we do believe quite strongly in the Cosmos ecosystem. From Terra, we always had the vision of wanting to expand within
Mm-hmm.
other IBC chains. So yeah, after Terra, naturally we did other chains, and Juno had quite a strong community narrative. So yeah, natural
Mm-hmm.
progression.
Were you, so sorry to ask that, but just curious, um how did the Luna crash affected you? Let's say there was the UST depegging.
Yeah.
Did you think it's over for you guys, or you were not really affected? Like, were you exposed, your project, to ecosystem, to UST?
Yep, definitely. So I guess most of our P&L was in UST. So we are running like validators, we are running advertisements on our platform. So we did
Mm-hmm.
get revenue in UST. We did pay some fees, salaries in UST as well. So when it hit, obviously our treasury took a hit. But yeah, I think ultimately we wanted to already plan to scale across different chains.
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine other people will be hit harder. Of course, we could have preserved more capital if we risk manage better. So I think it was a good lesson for us as well. We did take a hit on our balance sheet and treasury because of
Mm-hmm.
we held a lot in UST. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but yeah,
I think everyone did get some lesson from that. I wasn't that much affected. I have some friends that actually were, and
yep,
it probably put us all back to the earth and the real world, and understand that, like, maybe nothing lasts forever, and diversification is good, and actually trying to
yep.
focus on security, also financial security, um is good. um could you tell me, any of you, really, um in very simple words, because I see the coin hall, and I see you being very active, you sharing the ecosystem contributors, you have all of this information. So step by step, what exactly Coinhall is doing? Because I see few things which make me confused what exactly it does. Like, we can separate each part.
Yeah, I can take this one. Maybe Joe, you can add on later. So
Mm-hmm.
we're doing a number of things. We want to be a unified platform for both data and trading on within the Cosmos ecosystem, right? So if you see the products we always go live first would be like live charts. So um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, as mentioned, there aren't super a lot of tools and analytics within the Cosmos ecosystem. So actually, before we started, if you are someone who uses a DEX and you're familiar with that standard Uniswap interface, you don't see charts, you don't see price, you see
Mm-hmm.
a price estimated like price slippage, but you have no idea who traded before you, how much they
Mm-hmm.
trade, how much is the real liquidity. So I guess we wanted to remove not remove lessen information asymmetry. So we built all these data tools so that the everyday user could have a similar amount of information to, let's say, a pro trader, right? So we started there, and then people are relying on our platform to see like, okay, is this the accurate token contract, is this an accurate LP pair contract, or am I trading against like some shitty low liquidity pool? So once the users started coming in, we were like, okay, it makes sense to allow for trade execution via our platform as well, right? So That's when HallSwap was developed. Users were then able to trade directly, and liquidity was sourced from multiple pools. Users could get the best price. So that was the progression. And I think embedding further into the user's everyday experience of understanding DeFi, which is quite hard. We have other tools like price alerts, price bots to let you just very easily access your trading experience on Cosmos. So yeah, that's kind of the different things we do. So parts again, it will be like real-time price and analytics. There's a DEX aggregator. We've got bots and alerts, and we also run like validator nodes to help support the network. And yeah, we run nodes also to get like a reliable data feed. So yeah, that's kind of what we are doing. And if you were to look a couple more next steps, we want to take this data layer to power more than just a trading experience. Data can do many other things. It can be go into like wallet reputation, identity, and yeah, we want to build very strong, reliable infrastructure first, and then we can scale to other use cases. So yeah.
You mentioned live chats.
Real charts, real time price charts.
Charts. Yeah. Joella, you want to add something to?
So I think essentially what Joseph is trying to say is like basically their backgrounds, right? Just some backstory. How they started Coinhall is they were basically degen traders themselves. So they realized there was very, very bad, UI UX for existing tools out there. As they remark it, you'll be trading blindly on the platforms. So coming from me as a user initially, before Coinhall, and I entered the Terra ecosystem at the beginning, a lot of alts didn't have the real-time price charts or anything of like the transactional or historical orders. So you don't really know what's going on, and you don't really know, okay, what's the price now? And sometimes it's not really a good user experience if you have to go from different websites, let's say CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, to try to find the reliable data, or let's say price charts behind this kind of token that you're looking for. So I think when they first started, a lot of people were like, okay, there's a huge need for this. And eventually this expanded the vision to not only provide for Terra, but across the IBC. And, I don't know if you have used our tools before, but, a lot of people have been saying it's been helpful, and that's what we want to achieve. Really good UI UX experience for the user.
I'm looking like where you get the charts from. Is the chart because you have you can track the live chart and all of the transaction happen, or you have only integrated the specific exchanges?
So everyone has access to the same block data, right? So let's say a block explorer, you can see every single transaction that comes in on the blockchain, right? So for us, we built our own custom indexer to specifically pass DEX transactions. So when a trade comes in, we'll be like, okay, this wallet exchanged quantity A of token X to quantity B of token Y, right? And then based on that, the exact trade that wallet make will give you the price, the exact price that the user got it at, accounting for price impact and everything. So yeah, we built our own custom indexer, and you have to do that per chain, per DEX. Yeah.
So when I'm on Juno, I see the price from the native DEX, which is Juno Swap, right?
Yep.
When I'm Osmosis, I will see the native prices from I think mainly Osmosis, right? But they can be some from Osmosis. Yeah. If you look at the page, I wonder, like, would you do anything different right now? Do you have any plans?
Which specific page do you mean? If you click into, let's say, a single pair, and yeah.
Can I tell you something? Like, I'm going on the page, and I'm also like trying to explore. I feel there is a lot going on. Don't you have this feeling?
I agree. We actually, if you see other standard trading platforms, they literally leave like zero real estate on your screen, right? There's like there's like 200 things happening on one same screen. We really try our best to like give you spare spaces to breathe. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, our typical structure is like top, you get the information of some token information, so stuff like market cap, FDV, liquidity of the pair, and then we show chart itself.
Mhm.
Once we've integrated the DEX to allow trade execution, you can actually do the swap, and then
Mhm.
at the bottom you see all the transactions that were made before you. So yeah, I don't know if you would want to share what kind of improvements you like to see. Definitely open.
Mhm. No, like this is like I know it's not I'm trying to be mean or anything, and I truly love what you're doing. Like I even like look now, it's pretty cool for me to have opportunity to see the size of the transactions on Juno Swap, so I can see, hey, whales are buying, right, or something like this. But the first impression is like that you do try to show a lot from the existing ecosystem. Like let's say you try to help the projects that built on Juno, and with that you have this changing advertisement, right, and the link I can go to the Loop NFT marketplace. So it's quite attacking me with the visuals.
I see,
um
I see. You
I
could scroll
think,
down a little bit. The,
yeah, if you
it's not
scroll
sticky.
down,
Yeah.
it's gone. So I was thinking maybe you can even like simplify that, like make it like very. I love basic stuff. I love like very minimal stuff. So this was just a question. Like I you know uh I just like simplicity. I understand maybe more others like to have more visuals, and I know you do try to promote the things that build there, uh, but there will be a lot of projects coming and that will be attacking us. Essentially, we don't know where to put attention. So as of now, you offer the real price charts, right? This is um
Real time.
Real, yeah, real time price
real
charts and analytics.
real time
Yeah,
price chart.
yeah,
Yeah,
um Also, I see there is a swap,
yeah,
but for the swap I see a whole swap. Is
yeah.
it your own native dex?
So yeah, people from our team contributed to developing the swap protocol. Yep.
Hmm.
PSA, there's no token if involved
Hmm.
here. So if people think there's a
Hmm.
token, yeah, there isn't.
No, I'm just asking, that's your own dex, or you
Yeah.
using the other dex
We,
to
we
integrate?
Yeah, so we don't have our own decks. It's similar to, I guess, 1inch, where you are aggregating the liquidity of other dexes.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, for Juno right now we are aggregating Juno swap. I think the other dexes have pretty low liquidity, but if there are
Hmm.
other dexes which come on, we could aggregate them as well. And
Hmm.
yeah, uh,
Hmm.
once we do enable trade execution, it will be stuff like enabling trade splitting. So similar to 1inch on EVM. Let's say
Hmm.
you are trying to market buy like 100K, right? You would have a lot of there'll be price impact if you do it on a single dex, but the protocol will help you to split the trade across like 2-3 dexes, uh, and then you get the best price possible with minimal
Hmm.
price impact. Yeah.
And I see the dex for Luna Classic, right? Because it was the first one is
Yeah.
integrated. Is it right? The Luna Classic, and um which assets are there available? Just USTC? Like, I mean, maybe let's keep the Luna Classic, but is the dex for Terra 2.0 already integrated?
So we are actually integrating it now. It's not live
Mm-hmm.
yet. Only Terra
Mm-hmm.
Classic is live. And how it works is the moment we integrate the DEX, it will be any pair, any liquidity pairs on that DEX, right? So
Mm-hmm.
let's say we integrate Juno Swap and Juno Swap 2. Let's say for whatever reason, that's the name of the other DEX. Yeah, it will be, if each one has 50, it'll be all 50 pairs on each. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And when can we expect you integrate the Juno swap?
Yeah, not redacted. Okay, I'm not gonna give a commit to a date because the developers are working on a number of stuff. So they're trying
Mm-hmm.
their best. Yeah, two of
Mm-hmm.
us, we are not the developers, so
Yeah.
Right. That.
So we
yeah.
are the one that talk like a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. If
That's
we give you
okay.
a date, we'll get killed by
Mm-hmm.
our CTO. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And do you have maybe Coinhall in front of you? I wonder if we can maybe share the screen and show to the people like how it looks and everything. I can share myself,
Yeah.
but maybe it's better
Joseph,
if you
you want to
can.
do it?
Yeah, I can do it. I can do it.
Okay.
It
Let's
would be
see.
really cool because I can learn, and I'm like really excited to like see that we can have everything in one
We're we're
place.
gonna we're gonna convert you to a Coinhall user at the end of this video. So
Yes, that's the main goal, like I'm making these lives to learn, and like through my learning experience, I guess we are going to provide the same learning experience. I'm a noob here.
I
um
very much doubt that.
yeah. No, no, no.
You-
I'm seriously noob. Can you continue sharing? Like I want to ask you questions. If we go to the
yeah,
pairs, for example,
yeah.
right? So can
So can you see? I'm sharing by another browser.
mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah,
yeah, that one has a wallet locked in. Can you see this?
yes, I see
Cool.
everything good.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
if we go to the pairs, okay,
Yeah.
so you can enable everything,
Yeah.
and yeah, if you so swap will allow everyone to swap the assets via any exchange they want with integration of one wallet. Is it correct?
You can use any. Yeah, you can integrate a number of wallets. So for now, we allow
Yeah.
like Station, Kepler. We're integrating other wallets like Leap. So
Mm-hmm.
admittedly, if you click swap here, this was our
Mm-hmm.
a bit lazy and primitive UI just to bring you to.
Mm-hmm.
We were trying to educate our users at this point, at one point that, oh, you could actually swap on the platform. But
Mm-hmm.
this would transit to like a more like Uniswap type of UI. So it's like you key in the pairs that you want to swap, and then we do that swapping on the back end. But yeah, back
Mm-hmm.
to this kind of the dashboard page. What you can do on this dashboard homepage, so you can there's a top which is like kind of curated. There's a certain threshold to get into the top page. Based on this,
Mm-hmm.
you can sort by any way you want, like market cap,
Mm-hmm.
liquidity, volume. If you do by market cap and FDV, we would remove duplicates. So you see one tau per token, and it will be of the,
Mm-hmm.
let's say, Dipper's liquidity pair, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you go instead to all and you see like volume, you would see like you see like Cosmos repeating multiple times. So they will show you all possible pools of like yeah, just
Mm-hmm.
based on volume. And then other
Mm-hmm.
settings, personal ways you can personalize. Um, you can choose to see verified tokens only. So for our purpose, verified means that the project owner has kind of we have verified we have communicated with the project owner to confirm
Mm-hmm.
stuff like their socials, the pair contract, the token addresses. So yeah, you can do stuff like this. Obviously, if you click unverified, you might see stuff which have like super low liquidity, super low
Mm-hmm.
volume, um, shit coins, if you may. Yeah, you can opt to see prices like natively. Let's say if you
Mm-hmm.
want to see it being quoted in Juno or Osmo rather than in
Mm-hmm.
USD prices, you can do that. Yeah, then we've got this tab called New, where if you basically click unverified, any single pair that's created on that DEX, you would see it show up here. So if you
Mm-hmm.
click new, yeah, basically if something was created, like, okay, Osmosis, we just integrated it yesterday, so everything is new, right? But let's say you see all these will be like super low cap tokens, right?
Mm-hmm. I
So
just wanted to
people,
ask, yeah, like,
yeah,
so this just means that is low cap and it's also unverified, or?
it's unverified meaning that we have not
Mm-hmm.
had a way to
Mm-hmm.
ascertain that the contract is indeed by the project developer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And I saw before. I wonder. So once you integrate and we can swap, and we can see the real life prices.
yeah,
What essentially you open also opportunity, because as we integrate all of the wallets, and I can see that Atom on the Juno swap is for $12.10,
yeah,
but on Osmosis is for $12. I could quickly execute the trade, for example, via your page, and sell my atoms on Osmosis, and sell my atoms, for example, on Juno Swap, and buy on Osmosis to use that opportunity, right? So you open essentially
yeah,
this opportunity, because
yeah,
I don't think we can see this with any other platforms, right? Um, and you have also the subscribe page.
yeah,
I couldn't really understand how does it
yeah.
work.
Yeah, so basically, other platforms similar to ours might ask you to pay for, let's say, a subscription. Maybe you pay like
Hmm.
$100 a month. You connect your credit card, or whether you pay in USDC or something. Do that for now. Instead, we are running validator nodes that um, users can stake to our validator and create, and based on how much they stake, this becomes their subscription, right?
Hmm.
So, for example, you stake 100 Juno, you get premium features, right? So,
Hmm.
we were the first to pioneer this and saw it as a kind of like win-win-win situation, because on the user's end, you don't pay any like out-of-pocket expense to use our service. Instead, you are staking for validator, which is 5% commission, just like any other standard validator, right? On us, we can pay our devs by getting staking commissions. And yeah, so we pioneered this. The moment you log in with your wallet, we will see how
Hmm.
much you are staking for our validator, and yeah, your front end basically will change accordingly, your website
So
experience.
let's go through this. If I don't stake with you,
Yep,
and so I see zero. If I don't stake with you, I'm still allowed to use your real life charts.
yeah,
And
you can use everything basically still.
so what is the benefit I'm getting if I subscribe via staking to you? Is there anything on top of that?
Yeah, so a couple of premium features if we are looking at this
Hmm.
tile here. So now, oh, in this kind of hurting period, bear market for everyone, we just like wipe the fees. So we just all the fees are zero, but and we actually gave a minimum tier, right? So basically, we would just assume that everyone would get the equivalent of staking 100 assets worth. But
Hmm.
you get stuff like new and verified pairs. So that's another feature we
Hmm.
have, which is like, let's say under alerts, you connect your Telegram, you could receive pair alerts whenever pairs are created on the Dex's token factory. So let's say
Hmm.
Don, you have your own token and you are creating Don XLR USDC. The moment you create it, if you were to set alerts on Coinhall platform, the moment the Dawn pair is created, you'll be
Hmm.
informed via Telegram. So there's
Hmm.
stuff like that. You can set stuff like price alerts, which like, let's say you want to be informed every single time Juno touches $6. Each time we send you one Telegram alert, you can do stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah, and of course we are building up more tools, more features, which
So that feature would be for if I'm subscribing to you, right? I will have
yeah.
the
So yeah,
notifications.
as
And
long as
there
you stick to our
is
validator, yeah.
Yeah, and there is essentially unlimited possibilities, I guess. So, for example, if there is some, you could probably develop in the future, if there is some arbitrage opportunity as well, you could also send notifications to the people, right? Via Telegram.
Yep, yep. We actually
Hmm.
touched that, just not ready to ship that yet. Yeah.
It's okay. We
I mean,
just
it's quite obvious
ex
that like, yeah,
yeah. I'm exploring, right? Because people are uh probably curious. So I'm like I want to squeeze as much as possible from what you offer. What interests me here, it seems you build a platform, you give a lot of tools, you give us the um real time charts, you give us the decks with no fees. But the fees are still paid on the decks that you use, right? So there is
Correct.
still point 0.3 swap fee. How do you monetize this platform for yourself? You don't survive on the air, right? You need to generate the profits. Like my mind sharing, if there is a way how you do it.
Of course, of course. So the subscribing part, when you are sticking to our validator, basically there's a 5% commission. So yeah, which is like any other validator. So that we do get validator revenue from running
Mhm.
validator nodes. That's one. Ads, which you see, that's another method. And
Right.
yeah, previously there were fees on the swaps, but yeah, I mean now it's zero. Yeah, we are just looking to build more cool stuff first, and yeah, hopefully we will be fine.
Mhm. So yeah, like that's you kind of surviving of the ads. But if there is other revenue streams, you could finally and hopefully more
Yeah,
from the validator revenues. Which
yeah.
chains you are validating? So maybe we can encourage people to stake with you.
Oh, that'll be super great. Right now we are on for Cosmos chains.
Hmm.
We obviously started with both Terra Classic and Terra 2. We're also on Juno Persistence.
Hmm.
We are in the test net for Say and Say, yeah, and then we're also running an agoric validator.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So let's start. Will you be active on Juno governance, and will you
yep.
make good decisions?
Yes.
So, guys, the coin, like seriously, it's painful to watch because here is the people um who do contribute, and I think they are committed, and they are the one last spot on Juno, and I think it's unacceptable. um so and I hope also, like, maybe Juno, with the when they will do next batch of delegations, I hope you will get allocation as well, because you do the great job. I hope community can also appreciate what you're doing on Juno. You're also on Terra 2, right? um I
Yep.
don't see them on Minscan. How you doing on Terra 2? Is it also the bottom, or?
Te- Fortunately not. Yeah, yeah. Might as well shout out for Juno. We are really like hanging on. We are literally the last. So
Yeah, so that's why I
it
hope
takes.
people could help you, because
Oh, thank you, thank you.
I guess you, and Terra similar, the Terra 2, or?
Terra, we are quite okay and healthy in the
Mhm.
healthy region of the active set. So yeah, people, because I think most of our community started from Terra. So when we went to Terra 2, yeah, we got
Yeah,
decent delegations, but we're quite new to Juno and other parts of Cosmos. So
yeah,
yeah, still
and
trying to. Yeah.
and I think and I think Terra, they do have the delegations from the, how to call that, organization, right? So they split quite evenly. So that was
Um, Terra Classic had a foundation delegation program.
oh,
We
right,
weren't a
right.
part of. We were too late. Terra 2
But Terra,
doesn't because
okay,
yeah,
I thought they
Terra 2
have. I thought
doesn't
they.
because there isn't a foundation anymore,
Mhm.
right? I mean, when they did the first airdrop, it was randomly distributed to all validators. Everyone got the same amount. So when
Mhm.
the first yeah
So
Luna airdrop was done,
you still were unlucky in not getting that, but Terra Classic, that's controversial. It the chain is still running. Why are you still active there? Like, many people consider, like, let's establish. So Terra Classic, that is known initially as Terra, um, I think it was openly established. It worked as the kind of Ponzi scheme. an unsustainable project. And at some point there was attempts to kill the chain by validators leaving, but everything came back. Validators are back. Is it just that chain meme coin, or is there something happening that you decided to stay, or it's just profitable?
I,
So
I think I'll just add on from the community aspect. So I think because, like we mentioned, we started off which is Terra Classic now, and I
Mhm,
felt there was a need to, make sure that we still provide for the community, be it whether new or old, because as you see now, there are still Terra 2 users on Terra Classic. And I
mhm,
think it would be really unfair for us to just quickly like remove or leave. But based off the profitability aspect, I want Joseph Viviana to answer on. But for us, I
No,
think
no, no.
generally we are community focused, and it's not something where we can like, okay, since this is dead, let's just leave. We couldn't just pack our
mhm,
bags and leave. Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, because there are still users on Classic. People were still trying to use some of our features, and they didn't get out. Yeah, so neither did we. Profitable? No, we're actually losing money on running the infra. Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, I mean, I'm aware with what you do. I see you are not, you're not really big validator right now, right? So did you get some funding before to start Coinhall, or you actually burning your own money from your own pocket?
We have a balance sheet because previously when Terra 2 was at a high, we did have
Mhm,
stuff like ads. We had some revenue, but we didn't do a VC round. We actually had a angel round, um, which is quite undisclosed. But basically,
mhm,
we are supported by a number of co-founders from the Cosmos ecosystem, and
mhm.
yeah, some partners from VC funds coming in as angels. So yeah, we raised a small amount of money. Yeah, it
Mhm.
can last
That's
us,
good.
and yeah, we are feeding everyone and our engineers. People get paid. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
yeah.
I was just wondering, are they getting paid from your own pockets, or which would be probably painful? And which new chains are you going to try to be validator on?
I think safe to say any Cosmos chain could be interesting for us because we are really trying to create a nice unified IBC experience for users.
Mhm,
So yeah, now you what people can already see is already like 10, 20 reasonably no Cosmos chains. I think we are quite bullish on the app chain narrative. So it's like any
mhm,
application, I mean, we did see DYDX come over. Any application that's big enough that you don't want to write on another layer one, which arguably people might argue that some rent is extracted there, and you want to do your own app chain on Cosmos. Yeah, we'll be interested, and I think we can totally help by providing extra data infrastructure, and these folks can concentrate on being a good application for their users, right? So we can kind of abstract that data layer away from them. We can help run validators. We can support with analytics because, yeah, I think analytics is a quite underestimated problem to solve. There are a lot
mhm,
of DeFi projects which are not familiar with how to deal with the data
mhm,
aspect. So people actually like don't index stuff. So like you ask projects like, oh, do you have data from like 3 weeks ago? Good chance a lot of people will tell you no. Like
mhm,
they don't store, they don't index their own data. They don't know
mhm.
like their own transaction volumes. Some of them, yeah, they just don't.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like how long in the past I can access the data on your page. You just mentioned that.
We try to do from Genesis. So like
Ooh, so if I just load the transactions, I just can go way back, isn't it?
by right we should. Yeah.
Is there
If
is
we
there any
haven't, it means sorry, go ahead.
is is there any way to, like, if I want to find, do I have to just load more the transactions, or can I just like put the date that I want to search on the?
Now you can't put a date. Yeah,
Mhm,
we are trying to build extra infra such that we make this easy. We do recognize it's a pay now. So if you want to see, let's say, just price now, you could just keep like scrolling the x-axis of the chart all the way until you see the Genesis block, and then you see the price there. But yeah, I guess some alpha. We
I
are really trying to build better infrastructure that people can make easier
mhm.
queries. Yeah.
I just reached the limit. I reached 530 historical transactions. So if I would want to get really good data, like if I want to see some big transaction that was, I need to subscribe to you, right? That's
I think depends what you're looking for. If you
mhm,
got the hash, you could totally look up just on the block explorer itself, right?
mhm,
So, but yeah, we do want to make the experience even better, create even better
mhm,
data tools that like you want to
mhm,
see something specific, like, oh, what's the transaction volume
yeah.
of Juno swap on like 5th May for whatever
Mhm.
reason. Yeah, we want to try to help facilitate that. Now it's not possible, but we'll try. It'll take some time, but we'll try. Yeah.
Which chains are you most excited about within the Cosmos ecosystem going into the
Jo-
future, and the
Joey,
ones
give
that
your take.
you want to
Juno,
really? Mhm.
Juno.
Juno, okay.
Yeah. I don't know if we're allowed to give alpha. I guess as we said, we are exploring more Cosmos chains at the moment. We are most likely going to integrate one chain very soon. I don't know, Joseph. Would you
Mhm,
like to add on that? Because like he said before, our developers will kill us if we give alpha. So, yeah.
mhm.
Oh no,
Understand.
But yeah.
I think any chain that yeah different purpose. Like I think of course now I think honestly Cosmos is the ecosystem is quite relatively early, right? If let's say next time, you see more stuff like very application specific, could be games, could be like
Mhm,
creator economy type of applications, and there's a very strong like data use case that people want to get even more data. That will of course be interesting for us,
mhm,
right?
mhm.
So now, I mean,
Uh,
honestly, a lot of stuff is trading related. It's like
mhm,
trading money markets. There's a lot of DeFi activity on Cosmos, less like other kind of use cases. So when those come in, I think that'll be super interesting.
mhm. Um, what I wanted to say. Sorry, sometimes my mind go. If you compare the communities, Terra was very strong community. It lunatics. We remember this kind of died. Lunatics, I think. Do you notice the difference now? This Luna community a little bit died. If you would describe community, which community is more engaged? Is it Juno or Luna? Which community maybe is more engaged into technicalities? Do you see any differences between the communities?
Okay, I'll answer this question. So Terra was actually really very engaging. So I was very involved, even in the Asia region, or let's say even in Europe. And the thing between, I think the differences between these two communities is not very big. It's just that I noticed Juno has a lot more focus on the development side. So
Mm-hmm.
you have contributors like Notion the DAO. You got recently you have start the co-founder of Stargaze appearing on your channel, and it's slightly different in aspect where it's not to say Terra were made of moon boys, because a lot of people were actually really visionary and smart, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that's where it's the beauty of it. Both are passionate in the vision, regardless of what may have happened in the past. And I think Lunatics, it's weird because they're not dead yet. I think there's a lot of people who are still looking forward to the revival of Terra 2.0 and seeing
Mm-hmm.
what apps will be developed on the ecosystem. And I think it's safe to say that I'm personally quite enjoying my time engaging with both communities.
Mm-hmm. Say that safe answer. I wonder if like it's fair to ask, where do you see better development and more exciting development personally? If there is something like this, or you don't want to say,
Um, so as of now, this is me speaking based on facts. There's more news coming out on Juno. So you see a lot of projects moving on Juno, whereas there's not much being published about Terra 2.0 yet. So I
mm-hmm,
can't really make a
understand.
statement whether which one will be better or not. It's more like I
Mm-hmm,
want to be active in both. Yeah.
mm-hmm, understand.
I think the
There's
difference also is that Terra attracted a lot of retail. So
Yeah.
community. It's like aggregated of different profiles, developer, retail. So Terra had a lot of retail. I imagine Juno has a lot less retail. The people who actually are within Juno, within Cosmos, actually quite. You see a lot of like indie dev kind of demographics. You see people who are relatively crypto familiar because
Hmm.
I mean, up till what weeks ago, you couldn't even buy Juno on a centralized exchange, right? So you had to do on-chain activity to even purchase, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, it's a more niche crowd, I would say. Yeah,
Hmm.
both are trying to build developer tools, which is actually like super important. Yeah.
There is a
And one thing I must say, sorry,
Mhm.
just say quickly that
Go on.
Juno users are super into governance and it's
Too
way more
much.
active on the aspects. Yeah, maybe too much from Prop 16 until now. I don't know.
Yeah.
I recently watched your videos on Dao Dao. It was quite funny as well with regard to the
Oh,
wolf
good.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it will be something. I should send you the wolf tokens. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. Maybe I should drop some AI generated NFT because I have some access, but it would take long to sell it cheaply and move all the funds to the treasury and just let play. Just this is like as experiment, everyone can play, right? There is one question on Coinhall. I can see links to Minscan. What are you indexing? Not sure if.
Yeah, I can answer that.
Mhm.
Basically, we when once we integrate the DEX, whatever is the respective DEX default block explorer, we'll link it straight, right? So
Mhm.
for Terra, there's their own explorer. So there's like Terra Scope and there's Finder. For most of other Cosmos chains, it's all min scan. So for example, yeah, to answer Meta Peach in the comment, let's say you're looking at a Juno transaction or Osmosis, both would lead to min scan, which will be filtered to that chain,
Mhm.
the respective chain, based
Okay.
on obviously which transaction took place.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
I want to add about the Luna versus Juno because I was the Juno guy and two of my friends um were lunatics, um you know, and they were always like teasing on me because we're so much about governance that they were like very much against that because there was like very different approach. There was like decentralized money, we going up, you don't understand, the system is there was this, of course they lost everything, but now they sometimes look into Juno now, and they're like, I actually, one of these friends, like, I asked him to buy some Juno later, and this part survived, but they also in Terra now because they received later the airdrop. But I do think that the good thing with the crash is it brought two communities closer together. I don't feel that there was some fights before, but now I don't see these fights anymore, which is quite cool to see because both platforms basically offer the same. um what are your favorite applications being developed on Juno, Terra, whatever, something you would like to share, maybe that you personally were like, wow, that's a cool thing.
I think one thing I am really looking forward to is actually the liquid staking on Juno. So I think
Hmm.
right now there's three. There's a Quicksilver, Gulfmos is coming out, and Strike Zone. So
Hmm.
I mean, personally, I had a lot of issues with my staking. So with regard to the
Okay.
Terra thing, yeah, and I think this is something I'm really looking forward to personally. So could play around the tokens, and I think whatever. Sorry, and Terra as well. Sorry, there's one more coming out. I think Fountain Protocol, which is
Sorry,
roughly I
what?
think like a fountain finance. So it's like a
Hmm.
payment streaming platform where they mint an NFT for you and you can get it sent over to your, let's say, part-time contractor workers.
Hmm.
So you send
Hmm.
them you mint them an NFT and then it'll be like a time vesting period. So it's kind of like
Hmm.
NFT bound where you could also sell it on a secondary market. So I'm quite curious to see how they play out with the entire like concept. So those
Hmm.
are two things that I'm looking forward to. One
Hmm.
from the Juno ecosystem and one from the Terra ecosystem.
Hmm. Joseph, do you have something extra that you are excited,
I'm
or
actually
same?
excited in like the next wave of like different kind of applications. I think for both side now, we are in kind of building blocks phase
Mm-hmm.
still. Like we totally could still use good money markets on both sides. We could use just the trading experience could be a little better, and then yeah, we want to see actually like stuff that you've never ever heard is possible on Web2. That would like very make me very interested. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because I think a lot of the DeFi is like mapped from traditional
Mm-hmm.
finance, so that's like
Mm-hmm.
it's innovative in its own right, for sure. But it's not like, oh, there's no chance you could have done this with Web2 alone. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
those would make me
Okay,
super
then.
interested.
Mm-hmm. The Meta was asking again, so you don't store this transaction, right?
We
That's for the
we don't.
previous
Oh
question. Sorry,
yeah, yeah.
there was
We
this question. Sorry for that, but
no worries. We do. We store it of so okay, for an explorer versus us, everyone has access to the same block data on chain, right? Because there's a per block there's information inside, right? So maybe per one block a swap happened, someone deposit into a money bucket, a bunch of things happen within one same block, so everyone has access to that same public
Mm-hmm.
data. So an explorer would pass that data to show you specifically like, okay, this address did this specific thing. So for example, they will show you this wallet withdrew from a liquidity pool x amount of this tokens, and this is how much they got back after withdrawing, for example,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we pass the data in a different way, specifically for like DEX transactions. So they index the data, we index as well. So asking, do we store this data? Yeah, we do store it on, we do index it on a off-chain database. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for better like data reliability and stuff. So short answer,
Mm-hmm.
yes, we do store it. We are not just showing content from Minscan. What you see is actually we are giving an easy URL so that you can just click the Minscan button and go straight to the Explorer page, because they offer like different kind of information. Because
Mm-hmm.
both platforms are like optimized for different purpose. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Um, what do you think of centralized exchange? Is it like not sure if you remember. I think you were not here when Juno started. The Juno had this rhetoric kind of like, we don't need centralized exchanges. Like, I'm not sure if you've seen it, but everyone in Juno was convinced we are better than this. We are very much, but ended up we are there. Do you think that's like centralized exchanges provide value, or we should actually strive to be away from that?
Joe?
Mm, well, for me, I think it's more so opening up options. I guess on one end, you don't want to be the one pursuing sex listings, which is exactly what Juno has been doing since the start. But eventually, Kraken recently opened up trading for Juno, on their own accord, and I think it's something where you can get more users on board. Because
Mm-hmm.
previously, like for me, how I got my Juno tokens was basically I buy them on CDC, crypto.com, and either I
Mm-hmm.
transfer it over to my Kepler wallet, and then from there I have to transfer. But the process of doing so, you lose like you have credit card fees, and then
Mm-hmm.
you have freaking the transferring fees, and then the delays. And during that time, I don't know, maybe the price may go down, and
Mm-hmm.
it's something where it's more convenient for me. And I guess there's two sides to the equation, right? One side you don't want, again, like I said, to be the one pursuing sex listings because you don't have to. Juno grows organically, like so far. And on
Mm-hmm.
the other end, you want it to be more open for more users worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the access part is like super important, because like of course if you pursue like the ethos and principles, that's huge, and it makes a lot of sense. But if users can't uh, have easy access, then you will always have like it will be a big pain point that's hard to overcome, right? That's why I
Mm-hmm.
think it's very
Mm,
important that folks like Cardo Money, who's helping to do on off ramps directly on chain, these are like very important building blocks for the ecosystem. Yeah, I don't think
Mm-hmm.
it's either better. It,
Mm-hmm.
it depends what's your objective as well, right? So I mean, if you just look at traditional finance, you have a bank account, and then you have other stuff like e-wallets. If you want to do remittance, you use a different player, right? Is one better than the other? I mean, they're all trying to become like the best bank of some sort, but
Mm-hmm.
I think whatever benefits the end user, there's more choice, there's more access. That should be the direction we should aim towards. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. there is one ecosystem that I don't know much, but I do hear a lot of hype about this, and you do have integrated this. And this is one that is outside of the Cosmos ecosystem, which is Near. Why did you decide to integrate Near? And just tell me anything about it because I don't know. Like, why Near, what they do, and why you excited about this?
So I think essentially, besides our IBC vision, we also want to expand to other chains outside of it where we want our general goal is really to provide a better UI UX experience for all users. So whether or not you're a crypto native user or you're a newcomer coming in, we want to make your experience better. So imagine showing, let's say, there's a lot of alts in the ecosystem, right, that may not necessarily have charts. And let's say your friend wants to find out more about it. Where do they go now? So that's where
Mm-hmm.
we want Coinhall to be the end answer. And that's why
Mm-hmm.
we also targeted Near. And I think at that point of time, it was quite a bustling ecosystem. I mean, right now it is as well. There's a lot of developments behind the scenes. That's why Coinhall stretched out beyond to target there. And
Mm-hmm.
it's not whether we want to stay specifically to IBC or not. Of course, that's our primary goal. But yeah, our end goal is actually to go across all chains possible.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there's super lot of underserved ecosystems outside of EVM, which is like quite uh, a shame for users, right? Because less developers are there, they don't build these tools. Uh, because honestly, as you can see from our platform, these tools, it takes a lot of engineering resource. And once you build, I mean, you don't have your own token, you're not like printing for money,
Mm-hmm.
right? So people want to get rich quick. That's the reality, right? They want to
Mm-hmm.
do an NFT that you can mint out and then like get lost after, right? You run away with like $2 million. So
Mm-hmm.
seldom want to do the hard work. But yeah, at the time actually, during the DPEC, we did see like builders from Terra, both builders and Terra, builders and users on Terra exploring other ecosystems. So Near was quite a popular choice then. So we are like, if there's demand, we would go as well. So yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
how we kind of explored it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Um, yeah, like I was curious about this because I think for many Juno folks maybe the Near is very undiscovered, but I think they do great stuff. Like not sure if you know, I'm going to share the screen. They actually have something I learned from a friend, like Astro DAO, for example, uh, which is competitor to DAO. Yeah, right? But I heard good things about the Astro DAO, so I think the nearest exciting chain as well, like to discover. Are you going to be validator
Mm.
there? Are you going to
So,
try to have the
so
node there
On Near,
on near? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, we're actually setting it up.
Is it expensive to start there?
Uh, it's all actually not super different
Mm-hmm.
across chains. Yeah, they're,
Mm-hmm.
the requirements converge. Some use some try to like over spec it, right? They make you use like
Mm-hmm.
super high RAM, super high processor, but actually, uh, yeah, most of the specs are the same. So it's
Mm-hmm.
not like particularly expensive to run on one chain compared to the
Mm-hmm.
other. Yeah.
And in terms of getting to active set, I'm not sure how it looks on
Mm.
near. How many validators is there, and what is the minimum to get there?
Oh, on near. Okay. The thing is they are adjusting or changing up. And there's I don't know if Joe you want to add on more on
Mm-hmm.
the new validator system called like there's a chunk only validator program.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that one would change the requirements. But previously, just like let's say 2 months ago, to get into active set of Neo, it's like pretty expensive. It's uh delegations the it will be like at least 6 figures plus worth. Like versus on
Mm-hmm.
Juno, it's like five figures in US dollar amount is the
Mm-hmm.
bottom of the active set. For Nia one, it was like definitely 6 figures
Mm-hmm.
from what I recall. So yeah,
Mm-hmm. Juno is already
more
at
expensive.
6 figures now. To enter.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
right. At current
But
price,
yeah,
yes.
I was thinking near would be expensive. How many validators is there? Not sure what's the system there. Do you know how many validators is on near? From top of your head, like if you don't know, it's fine. Like
Sorry, right now I'm not sure.
yeah,
I
I
like
can check it right now.
random
Yeah.
wild guess. It's all around 150. It's like
all right.
active. Like you look throughout Cosmos, quite a lot of
Yeah.
other ecosystems. It's all around these
Mm-hmm.
kind of numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You were mentioning Joe, that soon in Singapore is some event, right?
Yes. So token 2049. So happen. I think 26th to 28th September. So this
Mm-hmm.
is. I think at that point of time, Medellin Cosmos will be happening as well. So you either have to either go to that one or come to token 2049. So most of the Asia people are actually going to this event in Singapore. So it'll be like a something like a crypto blockchain event where it's not general across partners and also VCs and builders.
And do you know if there will be maybe Cosmos ecosystem presence?
I'm pretty sure there'll be Cosmos builders. The
Mm-hmm.
speakers list I'll need to double confirm, but for Cosmos focus events, definitely the Medellin one I think will be a stronger choice if you
Mm-hmm.
are going there. Yeah.
No, are you going
Oh,
there?
you're not going? No, I
No,
want to.
It's
But I
super
bought
far.
just
tickets for token.
yeah.
I bought tickets for token 2049 prior, so it's like I don't want to waste the tickets. So
Yeah. Yeah, my problem is, like I think it's great the Cosmoverse. But I think like in these events also like convenience matters. And if you do
mm,
the event in spot like Singapore, I don't know, New York, London, there's quite easy to get there via flight connections and stuff. So I think in the events, the factor of communication, it's more important than the factor of being exotic. That's that
mm.
would be my point, which is like, but it's good to know because I will be in 1 week. I'm flying to Hong Kong. I will see what's the quarantine rules because Hong Kong still keeps quite heavy quarantine rules. But if
7 days, I think.
yeah, they just changed 3 days in the hotel and 4 days at home, which is better. But it makes many people I know from Hong Kong just didn't travel for past 2 years because of this. If they would remove, I would probably go to Singapore for the event because it's just like a 3 hours flight or something like this. That would be cool. Um, w- how you are in Singapore, right? How's the scene there? Is it a good place to do the blockchain, or you don't think so? Is there any obstacles you face?
It's pretty good actually. It's like small city. You want to meet people. It's super convenient. A lot of people
Mm-hmm.
just meet in the city center compared to like
Mm-hmm.
let's say SF Bay Area. Literally, if you're in the city center, going to Palo Alto takes you like 1 hour. So
Mm-hmm.
for us, once COVID, the restrictions eased a bit, a lot of people started meeting up. So it's quite a bustling
Mm-hmm.
community. We're also tracking like Singapore-based crypto projects. So co-founders who are based in Singapore doing crypto projects. I was just counting. There's about like 50 active ones now. So it's actually quite a
Mm-hmm.
good scene. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just
And is
2022, a lot new ones came out
mm-hmm.
as well.
Mm-hmm. And when you the business wise registration of blockchain based companies like this, is it rather difficult or you have to face this kind of bureaucracy? I don't know, for example in Hong Kong, like when I was opening my business, not blockchain related, the banking is very difficult, very strict. It's very easy to start the company, but for banking you have like to open corporate banking, you have to prepare like business plans, exact descriptions, what are you doing. How is in Singapore?
Yeah. I think the regulators are quite clear on what falls within the Payment
Mm-hmm.
Services Act, which is the big one regulating, and then the sub regulation would be the DPT, which is
Mm-hmm.
digital payment token services, right? So it's very clear whether like you would fall within that area or not. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like people who set up stuff like exchanges here, they will all go
Mm-hmm.
and try to get license, or
Mm-hmm.
the regulator will give them a license exemption. So I think it's a better environment compared to countries which might look lax, right? It looks like, oh, it's very friendly, and then the bend hammer hits you when you don't expect it. I think that presents a very big business risk. Here's like,
Mhm.
if you flout it, it's like very clear you're gonna get like some regulatory problems. Yeah,
Mhm.
you won't be like blindsided because they
Mhm.
did state it very clearly. They are constantly like evolving the parameters, which like, oh, what constitutes having to get regulated versus not.
Mhm.
So yeah, clarity is good, I think.
Have you met Do Kwon?
We have.
Because I know he's in Singapore. There's this documentary I want to watch actually. Did you watch it?
Yeah, we
You
watched
need the
it.
NFT. Oh yeah, I need to get this. Is the NFT free to join and watch or?
It's already
Uh,
so the NFT was to let you watch like 6 hours earlier than the public release.
Oh right, I should.
Yeah, so everyone
Maybe.
can already watch it. It's probably on YouTube.
Mhm.
They'll probably, yeah, you search Coinage, like the Twitter account, they probably
Yeah,
link the
yeah.
public link.
Well,
Yeah.
what do you think? Will he face some legal issues? Because, like, I mean, if you look at the similar cases with the similar impact, this was the $40 billion collapse. If you see of crime of similar impact, you look at Bernard Madoff, who got like 2 life sentences or something like this. But it was in United States. Do you think there will be some legal implication of Terra collapse?
I think neither of us are qualified to comment. Yeah, neither of us got
I
legal
know.
background. Yeah,
This is more like friendly, and I know like that's difficult subject, especially if you engage. Um, Anything you want to share at the end about Coinhall, what you're doing, what you would like people to be aware of?
I think just come and check out our platform. I mean, if
Hmm.
you come to our platform and you end up not understanding how to use it, then yeah, give us the feedback. Means we
Hmm.
screwed up UI UX wise, and
Hmm.
we would love the feedback to see how to improve it.
Hmm.
But yeah, just try if it works out. Yeah, use our platform. It does help us, and we just love to
Hmm.
build stuff that delights users.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. This is the way to do. Like at the end, I will say like just support Coinhall on Juno. They do contribute. They are very visible. They share my chat every single time I do, which is like highly appreciated. Like it's really engaged community. So I do love what are you doing, and I hope you will get a lot of support. I want to show at the end of your page, which is like this is really cool actually, because not many if you can see, um you can view, I don't think in anywhere else you can view the swap fee APR, and on Euro/Juno is like at 1800% just from the swap fee. So of course it doesn't mean it will stay this way. It seems there was like high volume, but that's you can actually find some good pools if you do not rely on the incentivized assets. I do find it really useful. Um, so thank you for being here. I did enjoy
no.
the chat a lot. Um, Once again, I love what you're doing, and I hope you did enjoy the chat equally as well. And I wish you good luck with whatever you do. Not many people on the west. Not many people. Oh, I should show that. Not many people on the west gets that. Uh, but do you did you see my picture of that? The with
Yeah,
the
did
yeah.
did your wife teach you or?
Yeah. And but I think it started in Korea. The trend, right? The Korea originated from. I think the trend originated in Korea. I'm not sure. I'm
Yeah,
but
it did
it's
actually.
over. It's overall like Asian thing, right? It's
Yeah.
yeah.
But thank you for
I
inviting us on your channel. It was a fun chat from us both as well.
No worries. Just
Yeah, thanks so much.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure.
much of
Thank
this.
you.
Much of this. Yeah. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you
Bye
so
bye.
much.
Bye.
Take care, guys.